let's get this thing on the road. Okay, let's get this going. Okay, look. Why are we pumping? All right, this is the thing that I want to explain to everyone. What is the reason of what's happening right now? And it's a combination of a few things of what's going on, right? We've had some bullish posts, we've had some conversations, and most importantly, what a lot of people are just seeming to fail is that the sheer level of liquidity that is sitting above us is going to be taken. This is something I was talking about yesterday as well. They will not allow this amount of liquidity for all these people that have 50, 60, 70 X shorts that are in the market. I showed you, remember, I showed you the skew of shorts to longs. It's not going to happen. It's just going to, they're going to keep be hunting liquidity if these people keep doing what they're doing, right? And there's some really interesting bullish news. It's amazing how things can change very quickly, but I want to show one thing. One thing is hilarious, right? If you want to see what the wrong thing to do is, right? The wrong thing to do, and I want everyone to understand this, and I'm showing it on my, if anyone wants to check it out, please, by all means, everyone go and check out what's going on. The wrong thing to do, right, is this. Like, I want to show you something. You know that there's going to be problems now, and I'm feeling some form of a pullback happening very, very soon, right? And the reason why I'm saying is that, what's that? Can someone explain what's that, Brev? What's going on here? Can someone explain this to me? What insanity did someone go, you know what? You know what? Everyone aping. We're full-blown ape at the moment in there, and this is what gives me the worry, right? If you see, by the way, if you guys want to see, go and check here, either one of these, and especially if you follow the tube, I'll be dropping some interesting things on the links below, so make sure you follow that. What's that? What's happening here, Brev? Can someone explain to me what this insanity of a exchange volume hike is? It basically tripled in one go in a couple of hours, and it's partly because this is the rate cut being worked early. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get some interesting things to tell you guys. It's a warning. I'm gonna give you guys a warning here, right? I know everyone's super duper happy and everything else, but there's warnings. Warnings I'm gonna give you, right? Not showing me your the bull run is open. At what level is Bitcoin will steal the liquidity? This is the thing. Look, so let me get through some stuff. By the way, is the chat working? Is someone is someone on the tube? Can someone write something on the chat in the tube to see if it comes out? Just to be careful to understand what's going on. Or on the X. That's a sentence. Okay, let me just get this, because I want to make sure I'm not missing any of the chat. I'm not going to be monitoring a lot of the tickety talk, because it's just constant hate there. I've never seen anything like it before. What are we thinking? Let me just click in here to see how many. Also, people on the X, I'm going to ask you guys if you could, if you guys could repost it, please. I that's all I want. I don't want anything from anyone else other than just a repost, so we can get a lot more people in here. That would be very, very kind of you guys to do such a thing, right? Now, after rate cut big pullback, I'm gonna get to this, right? I'm gonna get to all that. I'm gonna go through a whole bunch of stuff. All I want is a few reposts to be done, and then we can see that on, and we can move on from there. Right now, what are we looking at this present moment? We have seen, and where I saw this happening is that we've seen a low time frame shift of structure, right? I noticed it when it broke through that trend line, and there was this change of structure that's going on. I was like, I then went on to check out total market cap on the lower time frames, and I was like, right? We saw this low. Okay, cool, whatever. I'll just move that down, whatever. We saw this low time frame structure break out of the previous high, like sitting right here, and I was like, okay, I think we're in a good position to see whether what can happen. I looked on the 30, the same. I looked at the hour, looks the same, and I started to go. And the thing is, we hadn't reached the 4 hour yet, and still on the 4 hour, we have 8 minutes, right? We have 8 minutes to close above the previous structure, right? Previous high. If we can close above that level, then this should continue and possibly test these higher levels of Bitcoin and possibly test the 98. If it doesn't, we're in for a pullback, guys. I just want you guys to really be sure and understand what's going on. Hello, guys. Fantastic. We make sure that that's the case. Now, there are certain things I'm going to be explaining and understanding what's happening, but I will go through it step by step by step if that is okay with you guys, right? Let's start going through some interesting information before I go into the chart analysis and what's happening. I'll try and balance the two together. But I'll say the number one aspect is the Vanguard bought a absolute gargantuan amount of Bitcoin. And it makes you wonder, do they know something we don't know? Do they know something is about to happen, or we're going to see some form of move maybe up until the rate cuts? Who knows, right? But this is looking like there is some form of a, you know, when companies of this size start buying with their weight, you know that there's something going on. So we could see this slowly ladder up as we go along in the few days and possibly test these higher levels, right? But I'll say this, we're still not, I mean, if you look at this graph, nothing here says, oh, I'm bullish, right? But I will say that the logo on t-shirt is being seen by one person with the kind of logo, and I was the Ukraine president. What? No, this is Ukraine's thing. It's not Ukraine's president. It's the logo of Ukraine. We still haven't really. We're not at the oh my god we're going crazy level. We just had a move, right? And I'm going to show you some key things to be very, very cautious, right? One is good. One is just cautious. Be very cautious. There are two things that are going on at this present moment. Number one, right? We're seeing sell pressure of whales stopping. The whales have taken profit, right? As new institutions come in and things like that, people were taking profit. Profits have been taken. They have slowed down and have basically stopped selling, which is a big thing, right? Which is a good thing that we're sitting in a scenario where the largest holders of Bitcoin, which in essence is a driver of the whole market, is slowing down. In fact, it's almost stopped, which is great. This is all a positive thing. But there is one caution I want to give you guys, and this is really important that you understand this, right? It's super duper important you understand this. There is another thing that's happening, which isn't so good, which is the USDT market capitalization. So in essence, the amount of real world, like actual dollar that's being converted into what is USDT, right, is slowing down. So where we're sitting at this present moment is that we are in a scenario where on the one hand the whales will stop selling, so that sell pressure is gone, but people are still very cautious. So what is happening is that on the sideline, liquidity is being put in, right? So this type of pump and movement that's going on, which could push it up to the 98 to 100,000 level. It can happen, right? But what's going on is that there is a level of investor cautiousness. They are still not sure about what is going on, right? They're still not sure. And until this starts to rise and until actual dollar, so liquidity, new liquidity starts to go into what's happening, then that's the only time that you will see a real move. So at this present moment, this price action we're getting is a relief, but I wouldn't say it's like we're going to all-time highs yet. All right? That's what I'm saying. That's the thing that I want to explain to everyone, to be very, very cautious of understanding this. We are not there yet, right? We're going to be playing the markets and the levels and the up and down. And especially if you're in the pro group, you'll be able to capitalize of all that kind of stuff. But be very careful. Liquidity is thin at the moment. And not only that, not only is it thin, there is still extreme cautious investors here. No new money is coming in yet. In fact, it's slowing down. Be very careful to understand that, right? I want everyone to know that clearly. Now, where was I going? Now, one other really interesting thing that I want to explain to everyone is this. This is a real thing, right? I can't believe this is real. This is real, right? So a lot of people talk about Santa Rally, right? It's this statement that everyone says, Santa Rally, Santa Rally, Santa Rally, right? And I asked my, my friend who is a, it seems that you guys are all my clients, right? Remember that statement, that client statement thing? Is this, right? Technically, Santa rallies happen later on in the month. And you know how I know that? Because there's a chart. The banks chart this crap, right? It's actually something that is being described. No, ruling is in January. The MSCI ruling is in January, right? So they actually chart this crap. So we're expecting a Santa rally possibly to happen towards the second week, right? Now I'll say this. Why is this? Hello, please work. Why is that bar here? Hello. Ah, there we go. Now I'll say this. I would say this in the clearest and nicest possible way. Take this with a pinch of salt, please. Right? Take this from a pinch of salt. I mean, it has been indexed from 1950, so you've seen some form of movements always happening around that period. But take it from a pinch of salt. So it's looking like there's going to be some form of move in that arena. But I will say this, right? I'm going to be saying a lot of contradictory things, and I want everyone to be very, very careful about how they react with a lot of things, right? What I will say is this. Right now, everyone is waiting for this rate cut. Right now, we have officially... Where are we now? Let me show this to you guys as well. Where is this? 1 second. Where did that go? 1 second. Do you see the quality of the keyboard? Only quality keyboards make that sound. 1 second. Okay. Right now, we have officially, as of yesterday, QE is ended, right? I mean, QT is ended officially. So the tightening of monetary policy, the tightening of liquidity, all of that stuff is technically ended. Now, a lot of people are pointing towards that this ending is the same thing as quantitative easing, but I want to express this carefully. The move from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing is a path of pain. I want this to be very clear for everyone to understand, right? I want it to be very, very clear. Oh, what's going on here? What just happened? Hello? Okay. I want this to be very clear for everyone to understand. The only way the Fed starts quantitative easing is when there is pain in the market, when things are very bad, right? When things are on markets are on his knees. So I want everyone to be very clear about wanting quantitative easing, because it will only happen when things get bad. And there is a path to this. There is a real path to what could potentially happen. And it's this scenario, right? Usually rate cuts create a moment of negativity, pullbacks, usually, right? Because there is this feeling of sell the news and some sort of aspect on that happening. The way that we will see what could be described, right? I think the SEC crypto policy change today is even better than the rate cut. Let me finish. The rate cut is not a positive thing. I just want everyone to understand that. The end of rate cuts is a positive, but the beginning of it is not always positive. In fact, most of the time it's negative. The path to where I could see quantitative easing happening is this, right? And I want this to be very, very, very careful. If the rate cut happens and we see some form of a move, but Japan raises their interest rates, if this balance of aspect happens, then that could cause what could be the greater pullback. And from that moment on, I could potentially start seeing a form of quantitative easing happening. Trump is speaking. Is Trump actually speaking? What's he speaking about? Don't lie to me. Is Trump's... 1 second. What is he speaking about, though? This is what's important. I need to understand. Wait, what is he saying? What is he talking about? Why is no one telling me this thing? Is Trump speaking? Oh, he is speaking. What's this guy talking about?
We expect hundreds of major companies to announce plans to contribute to these accounts in the coming months.
Oh, that's really quick.
Tremendous interest in that regard. So the Trump accounts will be available starting on July 4th of next year. And Michael and accounts will be available starting on July 4th of next year. And Michael and Susan, to
live?
you again, it's an amazing act of just incredible everything. I mean, the life you've led to be able to do this, even to
is this
be
live?
able to, even a lot of people have a good heart.
It is.
But they
All
can't
right, let's check out what's going on here.
$6,250 million.
$6 billion, you
And Michael,
150
probably
billion
knowing you,
million
it's not the last of it
gajillion.
either. It's not the last. But on behalf of the United States of America, I want to thank you both, and I want to thank all three.
Oh, God,
But I want to
is
thank
this
you
another
both 'cause you've been friends
Circle
of
J
mine, and
moment? I've got a
it's
feeling it's a
spectacular
Circle J
couple.
moment.
This is really an amazing people. These are unique. And I'd like to have you come up and say a couple of words and tell us what you have in mind, because what you have in mind is good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
He's talking about Michael donating the Trump account in the tune of
Thank you,
$6 billion.
Mr. President. It's a great honor to be with you here in the White House.
His
And,
announcements are usually
you
of
know,
zero
when
interest for us. You never know.
Passed the Invest America Act on July 4th of this year. We were really
Who
inspired
is she?
to see that happen. And this is something that, you know, Brad had first mentioned to us in 2021. We thought it was a great idea then. And it's
I mean, I don't
amazing that it happened. And we also
Okay,
saw
I can't
that
say anything.
this
I can't say anything.
act would become a
Seriously, who
platform.
is she?
And, you know, we believe the smartest investment that we can make is an investment in children. And this
No.
act has created
She.
a platform for families and friends and communities and companies and philanthropists to contribute to these accounts to create a savings and opportunity and hope
I'm not
and
saying
prosperity for tens of millions of children in this country. And
You guys-
Susan and I are super
Just
excited to
go
announce
to
our
here.
$6.25 billion gift to 25 million American children, 10 and under, and our gift will cover most of the children that are 10 and under that are
Patsy,
not part of the federal program.
I can't read that.
The 0 to 2 year olds.
Bitcoin looks like it's
And
going to
who
have
also
a
live in
pullback.
zip codes where the
possibly,
median
we'll see.
income is $150,000 or less. And
No.
I have spoken with a number of other wealthy
You guys-
Americans, philanthropists.
Is this your real account?
We are confident that
I'm
others
not,
will
I'm
join
not
us
confirming or denying that. I
because,
don't know who you guys are.
we all
unfortunately.
understand
I get a lot
the
of
incredible
hate that
impact
happens.
that a
few
gift like
more,
this can
likes.
have on the lives of young Americans. So again, it's a great honor for us to be here to be able to announce this. You know, when I was
Hello, just join. What do you
8 years
expect in the
old,
near
I
term?
got a
Can I
Passbook
see the
savings
chart
account,
on that?
and I
I'll be
had,
doing that. If you want to see that, you can
I think
go
about
go here. We're
$8 in
watching
it.
Trump's
And you go to the
announcement at the
savings
moment.
loan and you'd give them a quarter and they'd stamp your account.
man.
And I got to see the power of
Your
compound
eye
interest
just gets
early in my
pulled
life.
into one
And
to,
that
to
has
one
brought me here
direction,
to
and
this moment.
it's not the direction
And
you want to be looking.
hopefully, will
That's a
inspire that kind of opportunity for many more young people in this country. So again, thank you for the privilege of being here.
the
Thank you, Susan.
Mr. T stuff.
Susan, would you like to say something?
I'd just like to say how excited we are to be a part of this. We believe that when children have a future
Anyway, listen to what they
that they
say.
can see is worth saving for, then that will help build hope and opportunity and prosperity for
Shut up.
generations to come. So we're so excited
Shut
to
up.
be doing this and hope to have many people join.
I will say
in
for
our
people who have
efforts.
just joined the
Thank you
market,
so much.
looks. I mean, well, okay. At least you didn't talk too much, which is good. Why is this guy so short?
Well, first, it's an incredible honor to be here, and we wouldn't be here without the passage of the Invest America Act. And everybody on
There's
up here
something.
today
Right?
played a role
There's
in getting
something
that done.
about
The Speaker,
walking to
Ted
a
Cruz,
podium
in
and going, "Let me just put
drafting
this
the
mic.
legislation.
Let me just bring this
so
mic
that
down
when
a
the
little bit."
president placed the call to the Speaker and said, "Let's make this
And be
happen in the
cool
big,
enough to
beautiful
come on
bill,"
with sunglasses in your
Congress was
pocket.
ready
You know
to
what I'm
act.
saying?
They had
This
the
guy's rich, you
legislation
can tell.
drafted. But I couldn't be more grateful for the friendship
Someone with
and the
that hairstyle
partnership
and sunglasses
of
in
the
his
Dells
pocket.
that really show the
There's-
best of America. Today
there's
is
no
Giving
way.
Tuesday, right? And the fact of the matter is, for decades, we've talked about the wealth gap. We've talked
Although
about
she
too many
does
people
have-
left out and left behind.
I'm surprised he
This
reached the-
president was elected on a Main Street agenda to get the rest of
That was
America
the full
into the
speech.
game. And
6
that's exactly
million
what
to
this
kids.
does.
What about the
It gets
economy? What the?
every
Yeah,
American
unfortunately, it's the
child,
case.
3.7
sunglasses
million
are-
children
Man,
born
stop,
every
fatty,
year
stop.
will
Honestly,
now start
Some-
life
none of that
off
stuff.
with an
Although
investment
she
account,
has some.
seated with
That's an
$1,000.
expensive watch.
And then you're going to have great
that
philanthropists, great
ring. Oh my
Americans like
God, wow.
Michael and Susan who are going to add money to those accounts.
Do we have to what?
We're going to be
let's give it 5 more
overwhelmed with
minutes.
the
If we-
number
if
of
you don't
companies
like
that
it, we
want to
can move
contribute to these
from there.
accounts. Already companies from Uber to NVIDIA, T-Mobile to Charter Communications, Dell, et cetera. The list goes on. And every day more companies are calling us, raising their hands and saying, we want to be part of this. It's like a 401k from birth. It's a benefit for
Shall
the kids of our
we-
employees.
shall we just
right?
cut this?
Major philanthropists. But I think what this is going to unlock is the
Who
power
wants
of
me to
families.
cut this?
Moms and dads, Venmoing and Apple Paying and $5,
No,
$10.
man, I need to reply to
right?
Lamar.
And
One
getting
second.
these kids
I need
into
to,
the game.
I need to reply to him.
When we
I
had the
completely
round
forgot.
table at the White House earlier this year, Dara Khosrowshahi, the CEO of Uber, said, you know, after fleeing Iran at the age of 9 with
Cut it.
nothing,
Should we cut it? We'll
he
cut it.
came
We'll
to
cut it.
America because it was the land of
cut it.
hope. And he said what the Invest America Act does is it bottles up hope.
All right. Yeah, whatever. It bottles up hope. Fantastic. All right, let's go back. Now, as I said, so the scenario where I would say cut the same, same old crap. Yeah, yeah. Although that was a unique group of people. She was interesting. He was suspiciously short. he was suspiciously short, and then the rest was all good, right? Now, every kid in America gets a grand invested from birth. That's wild. That's a good thing, actually. It's a good thing. Whatever. I mean, like it's actually very good. You know, they're thinking of doing this in the UK as well. So the new budget has done this new thing where it's taxing everyone unless you're doing it for unless you're investing into stocks, which is a good thing. Cool, right? Stop saying she. Stop. You guys are so mean. My God, remind me not to get on the bad side of your bad books. My God. Anyway, look. So the scenario is this, right? This is what I'm worried about. And people are getting very, very excited, like super duper excited at this present moment. QT ending is not QE starting, right? That level of liquidity is a huge thing. At the same time, we're sitting in a market where things are sketchy at the best of times. So we could potentially see a rally to the rate cut. Definitely could. We could also potentially see some bit of a rally afterwards, potentially, right? Depending on what the Fed says, especially at that rate cut. I'm almost certain they're going to be talking about some form of, you know, refilling the balance books of the. Oh man, stop it! We've been. You guys in the comments are just, oh my Lord. Your live shows are the best. That's why we're always something. Stop. Right. I think I might queue up something to watch on every live. What do you think? You guys be up for that? If I find something interesting to watch, either about our industry or something on that level that we can watch and we can comment and describe about. What do you guys think? Let me know if you guys are interested in that. But what I'll say that is this: we could potentially see some form of a rally, maybe even after the rate cut, possibly, depending on what he's. Did you say hell no? Thank you, Todd. That could happen. There is a possibility of that happening, but I'm worried about Japan raising rates. Those guys were excited, yeah. And if it does that, I think that could be a problem. I would be. Could the Fed say that they don't see QE soon to be bullish? Look, the Fed will only do QE if there is a real problem in the market. I mean, it has to be bad, like, because QE is inflation. Like, the Fed is basically saying the market is so bad, everything is so bad, we see a massive crash coming, so we need to start injecting liquidity to support the economy and grow it. That's the only way they'll do it, and that usually happens after something big happens, like crashes or some sort of like a black swan event or COVID or something where the economy needs help. Otherwise, they won't do it. There's no way that they'll do it. They won't do it unless something bad happens or the economy goes down into like for whatever, right? And that's the thing. I want everyone to really be understanding and knowing that QE will start only something really bad happening. Now, I will say this as well, though, and this is something, the caveat that I did a video about that no one watched, obviously, because why would anyone watch my videos? They only like to just report my lives on my channel. Is this: if something happens, if this scenario of rate cut and Japan rate rising and some other issue appears from nowhere that people weren't expecting, and the market really does a turn, really does this big pullback, which I expect is still possible to happen, possibly around around 74 to even possibly down to 70, right? If it gets to that area, yes, but you're forgetting about the stable coins absorbing US treasuries at breakneck speed. Yeah. I'm not ignoring that. I've already said about that to everyone. I want everyone to be sure that will happen. But the stable coins have not become what could be described as mainstream yet. That will only really start to ramp up at that point, and that could potentially happen. Anyway, that's long story, right? But what I will say is this, right? If things get bad, if things get really, really bad and we see this big pullback around the 70 and everything else, and everyone will be talking about it's over and this and the other. That is the moment, and I mean this in the best way to describe it, that here right now, that moment there will be everything, because that will be your opportunity of a lifetime. I can't stress enough how incredible of an opportunity this will be, because I want to show you something, right? And I will show you something here. Everyone will leave. I'm saying it now. If this pulls back really aggressively down and, does the staircase and elevator down all the way down to say 74, but I got a feeling it's usually 10 to 15% more than you're comfortable. So let's say 70. Let's say really bad numbers here. Like full retrace of the full movement of Bitcoin, right? Complete, absolute annihilation from that point, right? You will be in a scenario where two things will happen. One, it would be possibly the most discounted pricing you could possibly imagine in a scenario where the future of what the Fed is going to do and where the US economy is going to do is only going to build and develop more liquidity, right? You will get a continuation of a rate cut, and rate cuts will grow more. And especially if we start seeing deflationary factors happening, which is still a possibility, especially when tariffs and various other things are going on. And if we get to a point where if the Japan central bank starts to raise interest rates, that there will create a scenario where liquidity will be very tight and people will look to absorb that and take that away from various other factors, right? That could cause a big pullback, not only in cryptocurrency, but also in normal stocks and factors of that level. Now, what I will also say is this. We're in a very unique scenario right now, and it's all dependent on your understanding and the definition that you put towards Bitcoin. And is this, I'm sure you've seen this graph chilling around, right? There's something called the power law model, right? And it's an algorithmic model which extrapolates the value of something against something else, and it's usually an understanding of like for like how discounted something is. And right now, the value of Bitcoin against gold is verging at historic lows. In fact, it's moved out of the trend line. Now, there is still a possibility that this thing could go down more. But what it will mean is this. There will be a moment, all right, where liquidity is abundant. Risk will be reduced. And all this money that seems to be rolling into gold is going to have a moment where Bitcoin will catch up. And these type of moments have happened several times before. In fact, twice before. And moments after that point have shown real big moves in Bitcoin, especially. And Bitcoin, especially, and various other alts from that moment on. So I applaud you that if you feel like that, it's over and you want to get out, this, that, and the other, do what you feel like doing. But at least don't completely detract yourself away from this market. Make these moments where if things go down and they're all terrible, a moment where you learn, you analyze, you build a model, you build projects, you build the things that you want to get in when this thing hits the bottom. Because everyone who's benefiting, all these whales that I showed you, that chart I showed you where they're taking profits and now they're stopping, those profits are from people who bought either down here or on the major pullback, or at the bear run down here, or if you want to talk about the previous run, all the way down here. You're looking at astronomical moves at this moment. They are so up, this pullback doesn't mean anything to them. That's who you want to be. And these things happen a few times. And we're in an environment right now, a super unique environment that hasn't happened before, right? Some of the runs were more aggressive because the numbers were small and there was and the market caps were small. So those pushes were much easier to do, right? But we're going to be in an environment where not only will the most powerful economies in the world have a lot of liquidity, where you have a government that will have that is constantly regulating towards at 70K I go shopping on an exchange. Oh yeah, this is what I mean. You're going to be in this scenario where there's going to be a perfect storm, especially when you see things like this. Just when you see things like this, right? When you see things like this, where they're saying things like, you should have some sort of allocation into this, at least like a 4% allocation of your portfolio into Bitcoin and various other things like that. All of this stuff is going to come to fruition at some point. There will be a point. Believe me when I say that there will be a point where these things have a turnaround. You'll get to a point where you think it's over, everything's done, and then it will start rallying back up again aggressively. You need to be at that point. Remember, back here when it pushed all the way back down when the tariffs were announced, it was over, right? It was, oh my God, it's forget it. It's this, and all these people still. It's this movement here is all these people taking the profits of this run back up. You want to be here. But let's see. Let's see what happens, and we will follow this as we go along. And I will say up until a point where we see a clear sideways action and we see a somewhat of a bottoming out, and there isn't this sort of ladders and elevator model of things where you see where it ladders up and then elevators down and ladders up and elevators down, until we get to a point where it becomes more of a consistent move. Then we can say that, okay, we can go in. So right now, patience is extremely important. And this is for those people in the pro group that were shouting last week, where trades were made, but because the market was in technically weekend mode, because of that, there were games being played. So what happened was all right, the market volatility is too much and games are being played. Let's be patient. Play the markets, be patient. Right now, if you are playing the markets, just preserve dry powder. There will be a moment when this thing is at a perfect point to really ride it up, to really do what you need to do. But you have to be here, present, working and grinding. Again, I put it onto the screen. I put it nice and clear for everyone to understand, right? This should be burned into your mind at this present moment to understand that. Cool? Is that fair? I've done my little monologue for you guys to understand. Now, I also want to understand something of all you guys. Did any of you guys go and check out Doma? I'm curious. How many of you actually went and checked out Doma.xyz? I'm curious how many of you actually did and checked it out. Out of curiosity. Did anyone check it out? I didn't, so well, if you had, if you guys had, you could have, and I don't want to say this is something that you guys should have seen, but yesterday, Software.ai was the fractionalized ownership of Software.ai was done. It's over now, and it was launched at a 350,000 market cap. So anyone that went and actually listened to me could have been in a point to get into the IPO launch of Software.ai. I'm just saying, this ain't something that it's not like a token. It's actually a place that makes sense to me. I got into Software.ai. I'm up 10x. I'm just saying. I mean, it's up to you guys. But you guys should definitely check it out. Doma.xyz. It's basically a fractionalized RWA project where you can have fractionalized ownership of domains. Just say. I mean, I don't talk about things that won't benefit you. Just letting you guys know. Anyway, it's up to you, right? I mean, I would go and check it out afterwards if I were you. It's up to you. You don't have to. But yeah, that's where we are at this present moment. Now, what's going on? Let's have a look through some other things, right? If you look at the S&P 500, it looks like a further continuation, a perfect breakout, and this thing moving up higher. We look at USDT dominance. The fake out was wild. Let's see what happens here. That was a mega fake out that happened. I mean, look, we're building a lower high, which means that this could continue down. It just needs to break that 21-day EMA. Just be very, very careful with this, because it could. May I ask some advice? Okay, let's see if I can give that advice. I have a big portion of XRP with a Forex. Are you still on a leverage trade on that? Wow. Okay. Should I take those profits and put them into other coins like Link? Why would you put it into Link? Just because it's cheap? Is it just because you're cheap? I'm new to this and down. We've all been there. I just want everyone to really understand that. I'm just saying, right? I am 3 bull runs ahead of you guys. Understand that everyone makes mistakes, right? But it's how you learn, and from those mistakes is what is the difference between those that actually make it in this industry and don't, right? So I just want you to understand that this is a safe space. We've all lost. We've all lost, right? We've all been there. Just try and learn and understand why you lost. The why is more important right now than the actual loss and stuff. And if it's a good quality project, then it shouldn't be a problem, in my humble opinion, right? Now you have to ask yourself with XRP and Link, right? Oh, I completely screwed up today. Great long, but then shorted too early. I would just. This is, you know, like, you have to understand this, the way this thing works, right? When you're playing, when you're trading, this is my humble opinion. Please don't listen to what I'm saying if you think I'm an idiot, right? With trading, it's like playing against a casino. It's like, right? If you're up and you're doing things that you've banked your profits, you're doing well, and you see it still going up, right? And you go, oh no, let me come back in. Oh. The market maker's job is to make you want to go back in. They don't like it when you make profit from them. It's their job to do that. So be very sure to understand this, right? Be very, very sure and be very clear about that. If you've made, well done. Bank it and learn from it. That's it. That's the only thing I will say to you. So yeah, watch this carefully, right? If this breaks the lower low, right, and actually ladders back up, if it does something like this, right, if this goes and retests or potentially goes down a bit more and retests this level and rejects, then it's another moment to go. Let's rally type of situation, right? That's what I'm gonna say. I only have XRP spot, but on 400% plus. I mean, so you've made 4x on it. Pippin USD is going crazy for days, going just up. Everyone shorted and keeps going. Yeah, but that's why I didn't put that play into the group. You have to be sometimes careful. Just because something is up doesn't mean it's the perfect time to short it as well, right? If you do play it very quickly, because sometimes those that run can run more, right? It's usually plays in levels of 3. You just have to be careful. Once there is a break of structure, you guys need to understand breaks of structure. And I will when and if this market nukes really aggressively, then I might go into a point where I'll do this type of this sort of giving my knowledge and how I see graphs and things like that. Although if TikTok keeps doing what it's doing and just like letting people do really stupid things, then I don't know what I can say. You know what I mean? It's out of my realm of understanding. So where are we right now? Okay, cool. Now let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Now Bitcoin dominance rising is a good thing. Right now, it's a really, really good thing that it moves up, right? This move up that we're getting means that well, look, we need Bitcoin to go up at this present moment. It is against, it's that sort of the rising tide raises all ships, or rises, or whatever, raise or rise, or whatever it is. That movement that goes up is going to be beneficial for all markets. But as this goes up, there will be a point where liquidity will start to get thin, right? That thinning of liquidity will start to impact alts. Be very, very careful. Right now, playing little moves is really, really important. Playing little like jumps there and there, playing the little margins and the break of trends and all this kind of stuff is what's extremely important to do right now. Just be careful, preserve liquidity, and then move on from there. That's the best way for me to describe it. Books, take profits, exactly. It's a Ukrainian t-shirt. Yeah, my wife's Ukrainian. I love Ukraine. I'm with them all wholeheartedly. What was done to them in the European Union today? What was done today is something that I will never understand. It's hilarious. Anyway, whatever. It's all good. So I'm just showing some solidarity. And I love my wife, so whatever. Now, what's going on at this present moment is that there is looks like there's still a continuation of a downtrend on the dollar. Me too. I actually been there, mate. Really fantastic. We have a home there, just so you understand. I love that place. I just want it to be over. It's at such a state right now. Is that there's nothing makes sense in that kind. If you ever have a chance. If you ever have a chance to go to Ukraine after all this is over, I would highly recommend it. It's one of the most amazing countries I've ever been to in my life. The people are so amazing, the food is amazing, the culture is amazing. Everything about that place is just incredible. It really is incredible. One of my most favorite places in the world. If I could, I would live there. Yeah, so it looks like the big city, I had a great time. It's incredible. It really is. It's just amazing. What's the big city bordering Poland? It's lovely there. Wait, what city? Sorry, we're having a bit of a Ukraine moment here. What city? I could ask my wife to come on, but then you guys will start wolf whistling and stuff like that. My wife's very pretty. I would now look at it later. No, Lviv. Lviv is south. It's not bordering Poland. Lviv is south. That's the mountainous area. Oh, Lvov. Well, maybe. I don't know. I've never been there. Uh-oh. Sorry. Back to what's going on. I've seen... Oh, maybe. Right. I've been to Croatia. Croatia is amazing. I like Montenegro more though than Croatia. Montenegro is like I think it's a nicer Croatia. You have a girlfriend from Lviv, yeah. I can see why you liked it. All right, cool. So the dollar looks like there's a continuous devaluation of this thing going on, right? I would not expect anything else for this than this to start to really break down from here. We want this level. The $99 level is going to be extremely important. Montenegro is amazing, especially Tivat. Tivat is amazing. Tivat is a port town. It's a really, really cool place. Her name is Is she there? Is Olia there? Anyway, whatever, it's cool. So there's that situation. Now, one thing I will say about gold, right, is that it's looking like... No, she's in Canada. Ah, that's possible. There's a lot of students in Canada. It's looking like gold might break out of this 4,240 region. And that breakout is not going to bode very well for Bitcoin. But there is a complete gap that's happening between Bitcoin and gold. And the further this goes up, there will be a moment that Bitcoin will catch up to it. And this is what I'm trying to say. The difference between what we see in Bitcoin, which in essence is a digital format of gold, is a form of store of wealth. The difference between gold and in fact, I think I can chart it on the same thing. 1 second. And I'll put that in there. What's this? With rate cuts in QE, the dollar will lose more versus euro. The dollar will lose a lot of value, and I think they're trying to do that anyway. Do you see Japan rising rates? I would not be surprised. Look, it's happened before, right? It's happened before, and it triggered a sell-off in the markets. Now, again, previously, what I said in my previous live before people attacked my account. It's the problem with going live. People attack your Alres, you are legit from now to me, mate. Was I not legit before? Thank you so much. I love you. I don't understand. I absolutely adore that country. It's incredible, honestly. What was I talking about? Yeah, the dollar will lose a lot of value, a lot, and I think they kind of do that. What's happening at this present moment is that there's a reason why. Excise, you understand the East. I don't understand what you mean with that, man. I'm sorry. There's a reason why they're devaluing the dollar, because not only will it affect their debt, but at the same time it'll affect inflation, and at the same time it will help people. It will help, as I said, inflationary issues. But but on the other hand, it will really bolster gold and things like Bitcoin and other assets that will hold strength against it. And also the money markets will move away from that. And super importantly, you will see the government 10-year yields start to come down aggressively, because people will start to buy into this because they're looking for a safe haven for their money. Look, you need to understand something of all of this as well, and this is really, really important to gain a clear grasp of. There is not one thing that will change this economy. It will be a combination of things that align at the right time for things to move in the right direction. It's super important that people understand that. Now, see, this is the problem. You're seeing it here. We technically have had a rejection of the previous high. Technically. So silver price is going absolutely parabolic. It's parabolic at the moment. So as silver is, although silver is more speculative than gold, I want everyone to understand that. Meanwhile, Bitcoin couldn't hold on 92. Yeah, I mean, I said it. I did say, be careful. Every pump, in essence, is a place to short. You know what I mean? Is a potential liquidity grab. Just have to be careful on all these things. Although total 3 is looking like it's holding this 827 level brilliantly. But again, for me to say that there's a real change of trend here, I mean, like we haven't even been able to break the previous high here. You know what I mean? Although that does look like a beautiful deviation on the 15-minute. Look at that. That looks actually really good. This could come down and possibly test the 854 and then rally up from there. Anyway, that's the situation of where we are now. I don't know if any of you guys have come across what I said yesterday and what was really important for everyone to understand. And if you guys looked into it, those who were staking VeChain or looked at the V wallet and all the things that I gave, all the links are in my bio. But Hayabusa is out, right? Hayabusa is officially out. And it's going to be a game changer for VeChain, wholeheartedly. If you go onto to the links and to find my links, you just go to my link tree and you can see it. The wallet, the V wallet here, and the Stargate by VeChain is the explanation of how the staking works, how the new reward system works, how the new activations and chain analysis and the chain activity and the safety and all of that stuff is being developed. These are the moments that you have to really pay attention to a chain, right? They are completely moving who they were into a new, complete, different chain. If you have staked, you have to now be active. You need to now assess validators and join validators, and you will be getting more rewards for more activity that you'll be doing within the chain. It's not just stake and sit back. If you are looking for the safety aspect of it, they're changing that. They're changing the way that you earn VTHO as well, which is their staking rewards on VET. It's their gas fee type of aspect that they have. All of that is now turning into a deflationary model. These things you have to pay attention to. It's extremely important that you pay attention to this model, and it's really, really important. Look, I'll just put it up here so you guys can understand what is happening. You see that their whole understanding of what's going on is completely changing. There are very few chains, such as the level as VeChain is sitting on, that is doing something on this level. Like I said with Doma, this is a supercharged version of that. It's extremely important to have a look at this, because you will have to now allocate your staking to different validators. You can become a validator, which will mean you earn 2x the amount of rewards you get, and the more you collect these stake these NFTs that are per stake, you see the actual increase in the amount of the value of VET, and also what you can gain is being deflationary. And as a chain of this standard starts becoming deflationary, the more of an effect it will have in the future. And this is just stage 2. They have the final iteration and growth of this as well, and it will make a massive difference to this chain. I applaud you to go and check out the V wallets, which is also in my links, and also check out Stargate. It's extremely important. Tomorrow, what I'll be doing is I'll show you one of my staked wallets, and I'll show you how you allocate this to validators and what you can earn and what the new tokenomic aspects of all that kind of stuff are. So please go and make sure you check out the wallet, and check out if you have Stargate or VeChain. If you're going to stake it, it's those type of things to go from there now, right? That's it. Now, what was the question that we were looking at? Where do we need to close above 91.4 on the daily? No, look, I'll just explain this to you. Yeah, just go and check it out. You know, there are moments in chains where you have to pay attention to these type of things, and that's one of them. It's one of them. It's a big enough of a chain to do this much of a complete evolution to not show some form of effect onto what they're doing in the future and everything else. And it's the V World wallet. Make sure you check it out. Now let's look at XRP. You know, I'll say something about XRP, right? It is spectacularly resilient. That's what I would say. What am I closing lungs? When you're happy, man. The TP points were given. Also, if anyone wants to join, I'm just thinking what I can do to get more people into that group. What would be beneficial for people to get in, a rate that it can get? I'm never happy. You should be happy. You're probably up like a. I mean, like if people want to have a look, I mean, these are actual people, and anyone here that can say, right, who's in the group will attest that these are just being put into the pro group. Like these are the actual things, and you can go and see it here. If you go to my links here, you go to the Learn My Alvarez here. Come and ask me, and I'll show you how to get into it. There's a fee to it, but it's up to you. I'm trying to see what I could do to get people to try it out at least. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do some sort of deal or something like that. But I think there's only 50 odd spots left. After that, I'm going to close it. I'm not going to be bringing anyone else into it. It's it's too much of a valuable place to not to not do it in a way that's more only beneficial for the people that are. Yeah, he posted on his TikTok stories. Yeah, it's too. I mean, like people in the group can attest to it. I'm not. There are people that will fluff it. It's literally there. I actually asked people from the group to post in their P&Ls. There's a P&L club. Crazy cool crypto family. Yeah, it's a family. Yeah, Matrix had a bit of a. You know what happened with Matrix, right? I had the chat with him, and he was like, he got. So what he looks at, and I'll tell you what Matrix is, right? I'll tell you what Matrix does. He looks at buy orders in the futures chart, right? He looks at buy orders in the futures chart, and what sometimes can happen in buy orders, right, and sell orders, is that there can be a huge cluster of sell orders. You have to have an actual link to the exchanges to be able to see this, right? It costs money to do this, actually quite a bit. And you can see the buy and sell orders, exact zones of where they are, and sometimes they can pull a fake. And what happens is this, right? Where they can put, you can see this large section of sell and buy orders in a certain area. And what can happen is that they could do that to trick people. And sometimes it can happen where they will pull that sell order just before it goes in. Yeah, they manipulate that. And they pull it just before that, and then they bring it up. And so what happened is that the sell orders were there, and then they pulled it back up to the bottom of the previous CME gap, and that's where it happened. Right? It's a little play that they sometimes do, and it's just unlucky that it happens rarely. It doesn't happen all the time. He's actually very, very good. You'll see, but it's just unlucky that it happened at this exact moment that you guys went in. But that is the game. It's all about your odds, right? Sometimes you can be down, sometimes you can be up, but on average you have to be up. That's the situation here. I think Vanguard had a play in it. I think there is a move towards a potential pump towards the rate cuts, that Santa rally aspect, but I'm still expecting this thing to go down. This ain't enough pain. I don't think that we're in enough pain right now. I think there's still a potential for pain to come. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yes, the pro group is really as you state, for sure. This is how it is. It's you play the percentages, and to be honest, you were still doing very, very well. Like really, really well. I think better than 99% of all the other groups that are out there. That's what I will say for sure. Okay, now, I want to show you something else as well. Look, I've opened up that's not what I'm looking at. I've opened up a little group here, which is called Pairs, right? I'm going to be adding to this a lot. So there's a lot of things you can do and understand what is important, right? Yeah, but I think the real pain in January and possibly, I don't think Venezuela is going to be a problem. I don't think that's an issue. But I would say to January, we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? Right now, what I see about predictions is that you can only deal with what you have in your hand at this present moment. That's that's the only thing I can for sure state. What you have at this present moment in your hand, you can make your analysis accordingly, but those things can change. Things that can happen can change an analysis that goes along, and if you can't change with it, then you will miss out, in my humble opinion. That's my only thoughts. Now, if we look at let's look at some things here, right? Let's look at the list. We'll go through some of these and we can understand, right? What happened here? I mean, we were talking about the other day, right? Like, where are we? Yeah, there you go. Talk about a rejection of that point, because look where we're sitting with this right now, and you look at ETH, because ETH is Slovenia gives us 1 more year without tax of crypto. Really interesting. I'm looking to move, but we'll see. People are now like trashing Dubai, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Anyway, so we're in this scenario right now where it's decision time, right? We're at decision time, and the decision is, and you're gonna love the answer to this. This is very, who's that guy? The one with the ribbons. I keep forgetting his name. What's that guy's name? Who's the ribbon guy? I think I'm gonna sell my alts even at a loss. I'm tired of this. If that's the case, then go for it, man. It's your Calvin Hill, right? I'm gonna give a Calvin Hill prediction. I'm gonna give a Calvin Hill prediction, right? We're at this point right now between ETH and Bitcoin, right? And what this will mean is that if ETH is going to be, if it goes down, it means that ETH is going to be falling greater than Bitcoin, which will affect alts. If it goes up, then Bitcoin, ETH is going to be resilient against Bitcoin, which will mean alts will be resilient against Bitcoin. So my prediction here is that this can go up or it can go down. All right? I'm giving a super duper Calvin Hill thing here because ETH Bitcoin is at an impasse. It's coming to the decision point right now, right? But what this graph structure shows me is that no one knows. No one knows. It could either go up or down. So you got a 50 So you got a 50-50 chance, guys. What I would say is get a coin, and that's the way it works, right? Because we're really at that point right now. Pay attention. Pay attention. It's gonna go up or down, right? I know 100%. Look, all I can say is this, right? Is that it could. All I know for 100% certain is that one way or other I'm gonna be right about it. One way or other I'm gonna be right about this. It's gonna either go up or down, right? That's something I know for sure. Right? And I'll put a small trade of $50,000, right? Only small. And one way or other, we'll do well, right? Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Cool. Now, if you want to look at some other, you can't lose if you do long and short. I mean, technically you can actually, because there's liquidity differences and different liquidities on different exchanges. You have to be very careful. Legendary, pay attention. I'm sure it's going to be sunny or rainy tomorrow. Depends on the weather. Hey, it could be cloudy. It's not a binary option. I go full binary, right? That's how I am. That's how I identify. Binary. I always win. God, please. I don't mean it in any way. That was just, I love all beings and acquaintances, right? I love everyone. I'm messing around. But anyway, whatever. Okay, never mind. Right. Now, if we look at Sol Bitcoin, it's on what it's doing right now is interesting, right? What it's doing right now is very, very interesting against Bitcoin. It's showing some level of resilience against Bitcoin, which is interesting, right? Which is very interesting. But I would err on the side of caution until we see. Why did it do that? Until we see this, right? Until we see a clear break of, the pair between the two, when you do Sol Bitcoin, until we see a clear break of 890K, until we see that clear break, then I would be very careful. I would be very, very careful where we're sitting right now. Ultra Bear is going to $70. Actually, I'll have a look at Solana in a second. Now, the key graph to also look at, and this is an interesting one to look at, is USDT dominance against Bitcoin. We're at a key point here. If it loses that 21-day EMA, then Bitcoin's going to rally hard, extremely hard. Sol ETFs active. I'm not too sure. Look, I will say something about ETFs, right? ETFs only really matter. ETFs only really matter if you're a first mover. Other than that, it can sometimes be a sell the news event. I just want everyone to understand that. So be very, very careful with all those type of things. Now let's have a look at Solana. And I just wait. Let me just look at something. Okay, usually when this guy sends me a message, this is amazing that if it happens live. And he said he just gave me a fart coin on that. I love crypto so much. Have any of you guys got a fart coin on that before? That's so dumb. It's so dumb. Let's see what's going on here. What are you talking about, man? That's not an alert. I mean, if it holds that. Okay. Keep an eye on fart coin. Possible Bitcoin cup and handle. What do you think? What time scale? What time scale you're looking at? I mean, if it flips this, is it a 2-hour close? Yeah, it's closed. Is it closed? No, it's on the 4-hour, right? No, it's on the day candle. No. If it holds this level, if it can confirm the 0.3376 as support, then this could rally. Just be careful with that. Is this a new account? I am neither confirming or denying that, because there is a lot of people that are trying to come after my attack, my channel. 4 and 8. Let's look at the 4-hour on the Bitcoin. Where did the cup and handle on the 4-hour come? What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about this format here. Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about it in the form of a cup and handle, maybe. I mean, but it's still downward pressure first. There's still a movement down. I didn't change the. Anyway, I'm not gonna reply. I apologize. It's nothing to do with you, but I wouldn't. I can't answer those questions because there are people that are after my account. So I don't know if you are one of them, especially as your account is an unnamed account. But yeah, there's that situation here. So a cup and hand. I mean, it's not really a cup and hand. If you're going to be, I wouldn't call that a cup and hand. This is more of a small market structure shift. Let's see. Where the day candle closes is now the important factor. Super duper important where this closes. I would ideally want it to close above the 91,300. If it can do that, then we'll see a continuation. To be honest, if it could close above 93, oh my lord. Oh my lord, I'll be longing like mad if that happens. Absolutely mad. We'll see. We'll see what happens and see what the situation is. But let's be careful. Let's be careful. Right now, nothing of what I'm seeing right now is bullish at all. It's just reverse rallies that are happening. A counter trend that's happening. Because this is wholeheartedly down. Right. Anything else? Last question, and then I'm out of here. Anyone else? How did the Fed inject billions? And it didn't inject billions. Sell up. Exit alts. I can't give the answers to those questions. I can't give that. I can't. I can at this present moment. Anyone that knows where anywhere is going at this present moment is not telling you the truth. All I can say is short-term plays, right? Short-term. I'm playing it until it clears. I'm just being safe at this present moment. I still think wholeheartedly that the 98 to 100,000 level, maybe 104, will potentially be tapped, right? When you expect Japan to look at it's on 14th or 15th. Let me just check. I'll put it into the pro group or into the Learn by Alvarez. I'll put it in the Learn by Alvarez level. All good. I'm gonna say, brother. Thank you for officially legitimate. Thank you. Officially legitimate. Lol. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah. So tomorrow's is definitely up or down. Just to be clear, I wasn't paying attention. There's no definites, man. What are you talking about? I'll look at Seoul and we go from there. I don't work in definites. I work in I don't know what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? Full blown. Don't listen to what I'm talking about. Crazy. You guys are crazy. But I'll say this, right? I'll say this to everyone. Everyone in the pro group are gonna be very, very, very happy soon. 2 very happy things might be coming your way. Definitely going up or down. That, Brooks, that is definitely the case. It's definitely gonna go up or down, right? One way or other, it's gonna happen. But right now, nothing to me right now gives me the indication, apart from a higher low. Apart from this higher low, nothing gives me this impression that there is a we're on for a massive rally here. Apart from this, if this closes above the previous high, all right, if this closes above the previous high, then yeah. But you will see that in the lower time frames. Today, I saw it on the 5, 15, 30, 4, and the 2 hour, the 4 hour close. I was like, oh my God, this is looking good. And then it goes from there. To be a pain, how to join the program. Just go to, I'll show you. Look, I'm going to show it to everyone here. All right. I'll show you how you do it. I'll put it on the screen. I'll tell you what the subscription. If you're on the tube, I'll tell you this. I can't tell you here. TikTok bans me for drinking water, let alone talking about anything on that level. You just go to my live, right? Band, right? Go here. It's amazing. Only 29. You guys, more people have to go to my tube, man. Honestly, you click down here. You go to the links, right? And once you go there, this will open up. Come to Learn by Alvarez and ask there, and I'll tell you what the cost of it will be and this and everything else. I'll just tell you this, right? I would say everyone that's joined has more than. I mean, I'll leave it to this, right? Everyone who's in there have everyone made their investment back? I just want to ask that. Even if it's bad to say it, I don't want anyone to have this false expectation of what's going on. I just want everyone who's there and going through what's happening is everyone benefited from that group. That's all I want to know. And then I'll leave it there. Yeah, no, less, say more, or say nothing. I don't mind. You guys can be evil to me and say it's terrible. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Did everyone do good? Not yet, still learning. Okay, good. Did you? Okay. Anyone else? No? What sort of exchange accounts do I need or make since I joined? Oh, nothing. Oh, also on top of that, okay, no one's replying. Fantastic. Good. No one's had has benefited from it. Fantastic. Great. All right, then don't join. No problem. No one. In there, I also give you the opportunity to go on to Mexi with 0 fees. That's the thing that I would say. All right, okay, it's coming in now. I think there's a delay in YouTube. That's why. I was like, wow, you hurt my feelings, man. Hurt my feelings. Cool. Anyway, look, that's that situation. If you guys want to join, go for it. If you don't want to, don't go for it. at this present moment, if I were you guys, I wouldn't. There's no one. Everyone's being evil to me right now, but I guess that's the case of the way the things move. All right. Let me go off the TikTok, and I'll explain to everyone on the tube and on X what this thing is, and then we can go from there. All right. Everyone on TikTok, appreciate you being here. I appreciate everything that's going on, and I will catch you guys later. Okay. So for everyone on X on YouTube, the fee for the pro group is $50 a month, and it's 3 months minimum. That's it. That's the cost of it. And for all you guys that didn't say that they're happy with it, I am putting any more trades in there now, making me feel like I don't know. Hurting my feelings. Guys are evil on levels that I can't actually explain. Anyway, look, appreciate it. You guys have been incredible, and I'll catch you guys later. Yeah, take care, take care, take care.